Good evening everybody and welcome to my spring evening routine. I recently posted my spring morning routine, and like my morning routine, my evening routine has changed quite a lot, so I thought I would do a little update on my evening routine as well. So I work from home, as some of you might already know, and after I finish work I like to tidy up my space because my space can get quite messy during work. I don't usually have a lot of time to clean it whilst I'm working, so as soon as I finish work I like to put my laptop out of sight, out of mind, and also clean up all of the things that I use during my work hours and just make my room not look like a work environment anymore and look more like a cozy environment. And this is my little baby Teddy, who likes to sometimes sleep on my bed, which is really cute. Another thing that I love to do is close my curtains as soon as I finish work, because this is usually the time that it starts to get kind of dark outside, and I've also just like finished my dinner and stuff like that, so it is about 7 o'clock in the evening and I'm just putting a few things away, like washing that I had dumped on my bed that I didn't really get a chance to put away earlier and things like that. I just like my space to look nice and clean. It definitely makes me feel a lot less stressed and cluttered if my space is clean. And I also like to change up the lighting in my room and just make my space look completely different, if I'm being honest, and also put my little lamp on. It just makes my space look so much cozier and more relaxing. So I've just finished work, well I finished work about 2 hours ago because it's 7 o'clock now, and I grabbed myself some dinner, which I didn't feel like filming because I didn't really feel like that was part of my evening routine because I eat dinner quite early. I try to make my room look different from when I'm working because I work from home and I work in my room, like in my space, and then once I finish work I spend time in here and I do stuff in my room, so I don't really like it to look the same. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's sort of like different from if you're in an office and then you come home. I also like my space to be a little bit different, so as soon as I finish work I turn on my cozy lights and I tidy all of my stuff away. And it's been a very busy, stressful day at work today, so I'm definitely in need of a cozy self-care night. So the first proper step in my evening routine is to get on the floor and start rolling around doing a few stretches. This is something that unfortunately I have to do every single evening, which can get kind of tiresome. But I've mentioned it on my channel before, I have a bulging disc in my back, so this is kind of something that I have to do every evening, which I sometimes just absolutely hate and I just don't want to do it because it takes up a lot of time. But I'm actually finding it really beneficial, not just because of my back, but also in general. I find that I'm a lot less stiff in the morning and I have a lot better flexibility as well just by stretching out my body in the evening for 20 minutes. So I make sure to do it every day, and I feel like even when my back does heal I'll probably still do this every evening just to sort of like warm up my muscles before I get into bed, because I feel like you can end up like laying in a really weird position and waking up feeling really sore, so I feel like this is probably going to help. I haven't woken up feeling stiff or sore since I started this, so that's probably the reason why. But yeah, sometimes I just can't be bothered or I'm just too tired to do this, but I still have to do it anyway, which can be really annoying. So after I finish rolling around I'm just gonna have a quick shower. I like to go on the treadmill in the evening time to go for a little walk. I like to have a shower in the evening to make me feel nice and clean, and I also just find it different having a shower in the evening to the morning. There's just something different about it that I'm absolutely obsessed with. I love the feeling of showering in the evening time. Getting into freshly washed bedding as well when you're nice and clean is one of the best feelings, especially if you have shaved legs. And as you can see, today was not a hair wash day. I washed my hair yesterday, so it's just going to be just a little quick shower to sort of like wash off the work day and sort of like get myself ready to relax. It definitely makes me feel a lot more relaxed when I feel nice and clean. The next step in my evening routine is one of the most important steps for me, and that is doing my skincare routine. I honestly could not live without doing my skincare routine now. It has completely fixed my skin so much. I've struggled with eczema for years and it usually gets really bad in the winter, but recently it started to get bad in the spring and the summertime as well. But since developing my long 10+ step routine that I have in the evenings, my skin has never been so soft, never looked so nice and glowy either, so I love doing my skincare routine. This is something I do every single evening and in the morning, but my evening routine is a lot longer because I like to have a lot more like moisturizing steps, I guess you could say. But today my skin was feeling a little bit dry, so I decided to use a sheet mask, which I usually use about once a week or longer if my skin is a little bit more dry. I know it's practically spring and this is actually a gingerbread scented candle, but I could not find my spring ones because they were at the back of my wardrobe, and this one smells really nice, so it's going to smell like gingerbread, which isn't like spring, but it's still nice. So whilst I wait for my sheet mask to sort of like sink into my face, I like to just do something nice and relaxing. I'll usually either read a book or I'll just watch a good program, but I've become completely addicted to colouring on my phone, which sounds a bit strange, but I downloaded this colouring app ages ago and I just go on there pretty much at least 5 times a day to colour pictures. I can spend hours just colouring in pictures. There's something really therapeutic about it, but I really enjoy it, and it might seem a little bit weird to some people, but I absolutely love doing this. So I just did this for around 20 minutes. I usually do this whilst I'm watching a program because I always feel like I have to keep my hands busy. So after I remove the sheet mask, I like to just rub the essence into my skin, and then I like to do a little weird massage thing. I don't really know if I'm doing this right, if I'm being completely honest with you. I've had this thing for a while and it looks like I'm kind of doing it wrong, but I watched a video and this is how the lady did it. So I mean, it's supposed to be like a magical facelift without the facelift. And then I just go in with my trusty face roller because I love this thing and I know it works really well. Makes my face nice and red and plump, I think. And then I also use my rose quartz gua sha piece, which I also really love. Again, I don't know if I'm completely doing this right, but I looked at some pictures and there was some diagrams of people doing this, so that's what I'm doing. And yes, I do have even more steps in my skincare routine. I'm now using eye cream. I know this is a long skincare routine. I have been over my entire routine on my channel before. I will link it down below if you want to see just how many steps I use. But I like to just make sure my skin is nice and moisturized and hydrated. And I'm also going with my CeraVe, my trusty CeraVe moisturizer, which I absolutely love. And this is my face. So now I'm just going to get changed into some comfy pajamas and fluffy socks. I feel like this isn't relevant for spring, but it's still a little bit cold outside. And then I'm gonna write in my planner, which is something I love doing every single day. I probably mention this in every single video that I've ever made, but I am obsessed with this planner. It is so good. I can just sit and write a to-do list, which I love doing in the evening time because it makes me wake up and sort of like know exactly what I need to do, so I don't wake up feeling panicky and stressed and like, oh my god, I have a million things that need to be done today. What the hell am I going to start with? I have a list of everything that needs to be done, so I can just go through it and tick stuff off as I go, which is a lot more useful and a lot less stressful for me. If you are someone that likes to be organised but also gets very stressed, I really recommend doing this in the evening. It makes life so much easier. So after I've gotten the base of my evening routine completed, I like to do something fun, and one of my hobbies is gaming. It's probably my biggest hobby if I'm being honest with you. I'm obsessed with this game at the moment called Cyberpunk. It is so much fun. I love it so much. I love open world games where I can just sort of like relax and just explore and just like shut off my brain from the world and just discover a new world for a couple of hours. And sometimes it's nice after a stressful day to just go and just kill some people in a game. It's one of my hobbies. So after I've pretty much finished my entire nighttime routine, I usually brush my teeth. I don't really need to explain this to you because I feel like everybody knows what I'm doing here, but I like to do this every evening, so it's part of my evening routine. And then something that I've been trying to do in the evenings, I also try and do this in the morning as well, is meditation. Just a quick 10-minute meditation, just to try and help me sleep, because like I said, I have a pretty busy, stressed mind and I have a lot going on at the moment, so I like to just de-stress and relax and just sort of like sit with my mind for 10 minutes and breathe a lot. And I do find it helps quite a lot. I do find it kind of difficult to do, but I'm trying my absolute best to get into meditation. And that is my entire spring evening routine. I do feel like my evening routine is probably long to a lot of people, but I do have a lot of steps and sort of like a ritual that I like to complete before I can go to sleep. But now obviously I just get myself into bed and try and get as much sleep as I can before the next day, so I feel nice and fresh. If you have any other videos that you would really like me to post on my channel, then please leave them in the comments down below. And also make sure to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Good night.